Today is a bit of a momentous day, I believe, because we are going to be reading a book in a day. Now, for those of you who have been with me on this channel since I started, you will know that I have become quite a slow reader, and I know I'm capable of reading fast. I just don't use my time properly. And so today, we're trying to read a whole book in a day. Now, I maybe am slightly... No, I'm not cheating, because I am reading a whole book. This is The Wedding Witch by Erin Sterling. This is the third book in the Graves Glen, but I believe you can read this as a standalone, which is what I'm going to do. This book is lovely and small. It is 276 pages, and I plan on finishing this by the time I go to bed tonight. Now, that is the rules of this. Between when I wake up and when I fall asleep today is reading a book in a day. Not 24 hours, in a day. I woke up this morning with the plan to start early and I didn't, and it is now 12:30. I go to bed at like maybe 10:30, 11. So I've got like 10 hours to do this, which I think is more than enough. So let's get on with reading The Wedding Witch by Erin Sterling and seeing if I can finish it in one day. Okay, so I'm going to try and do an update every 50 pages. I'm currently on page 58, and collectively I've been reading for an hour and 16. So that's not great, but it is 6:49. So I started this book at like 1 o'clock this afternoon. I think I did my intro at 11 o'clock this morning. I am still determined to get this book done. I think I will. I think I can. I'm going to do it. But Ben is kindly making dinner for us while I'm sat chilling. I will get back to you in another 50 pages, but so far, I definitely think maybe reading the other two books before this one would have helped. But so far, we haven't alluded to much in the previous books, so it's not like I'm missing out on a chunk of information. This is definitely a whole new story. I'm quite excited to see where this goes. I can see where it's going, and it is really interesting. I really like the characters, and I just feel like this is going to be a really good, easy read. Hopefully. I reckon it's going to take me about 5 hours in total to read this. It's 6:49, it's 6:51. I'm giving myself until midnight, obviously. It was either until I went to bed or until midnight, so we'll go until midnight. I'll speak to you in another 50 pages. So, oh, I've got to pause my timer. It is 8:30 and we are 2 hours 15 into the book. Currently on page 103. So that's 47 pages an hour. We can deal with that. We are now officially at the point where the wedding witch makes sense. The main characters, Tamsin and Bowen, are very gently starting to get along properly. You can tell there's something a little bit brewing between them. Let me take these off, my ears hurt. Oh. And not only that, they're having fun. Like whatever... So Tamsin is an acquirer and Bowen is a witch, and Tamsin has been asked to acquire something, not by Bowen, that she will get paid something like $1 million for. Now, she's supposed to have this contract for Bowen where she only acquires things for him, but she's broken this contract over Yule to see if she can get this $1 million and never have to work again. Turns out the place that she goes to acquire this thing, Bowen turns up for other reasons, and I guess they kind of end up working together. I'm not quite there yet, but spooky things are starting to go wrong in the house that they've both ended up seeing each other at, and I'm nearly halfway. I'm really getting into this. This is quite a quick read. I think if I'd have sat down earlier today and done like a solid 2 hours in one go, and then done another 2 hours, I probably would have finished this by like 4 o'clock this afternoon maximum, but you never know how the days are going to go. So like I said, I will keep updating you every 50 pages. It is also 8:30, so I will continue to update you until I finish this. I'm in my reading room. Ben is currently sat playing his Xbox with some friends. I'm sat with my little Ivy Vine lights, really enjoying it. But to be honest with you, I'm just going to be really cheeky and let you know that I am currently also reading The Atlas Complex. You will see this in another video. And as much as this book is great, it is also the first Erin Sterling book I've ever read. I can tell you now, once I finish this, I will be acquiring the X-Hex and the Kiss Curse to read those first. But I do keep looking over the Atlas Complex and thinking I just want to pick that up. But I haven't, because I have this going, and yeah, so this is, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but this is the third book in the Graves Glen the Graves Glen trilogy. I don't know if this classes as a novella, I don't think it does, but this is the third book in that trilogy. You can read it as a standalone. I believe you can read all three as standalones, but they are interconnected. Very excited. Very excited to have finished this tonight, because I know I will. I'm speaking it into existence. Let's get on with the book.
You smashed it.
I did it. I finished it.
Good job. Proud of you.
Oh my goodness. Do you know how long it took me?
How long?
5 hours, 27 minutes, 43 seconds and 72 milliseconds.
Absolutely nailed it.
Oh my goodness. Right guys, so The Wedding Witch by Erin Sterling I have officially finished in one day, may I add. I started it officially at 1 o'clock this afternoon, despite the fact I started this video saying something around 11 o'clock. I started this at 1 o'clock this afternoon. It took me forever to get into it, and I think honestly that was just me feeling so tired. Me and Ben took a nap at about 4 o'clock actually. Took a nap at about 4 o'clock, woke up at 5, got things going again, and then that's when I really sat down and got into this book. I'm not going to say too much on it now because I literally just showed you the time. It is 23:53. It is 7 minutes to midnight. I'll catch up with you in the morning when we can go over my actual review. I've had time to process. I can give you a proper 4-out star rating. But I did it. I finished a book in a day. So all of you slow reader girlies out there, it may have taken me 5 hours and 27 minutes to read 276 pages, but I did it. And I know that if I maybe have concentrated a bit more on some parts of this, I'd maybe even started earlier in the day, much earlier in the day than 1 o'clock, I would have had this done by like 6 o'clock this evening. But hey ho, I did it. That's all that matters. I finished a book in a day. I'll catch up with you in the morning where we can really get into the nitty-gritty of how much I really actually adored this book. Good night. Hello everyone, it is approximately a week later. I know I said I would film the next morning. I did in fact not do that. I'm gonna be really honest. I think I filmed this Thursday. It's now Tuesday. I needed quite a bit of time to actually really consider my thoughts and feelings for this book. And I think I have come to the conclusion that we're at an easy 3.75 stars, maybe even a 4 stars to be honest. Considering this is my first ever Erin Sterling book, I absolutely adored her writing. So easy to read, like I didn't struggle at all. And that's really nice for someone who is a bit of a slow reader to just be able to feel like the words flow not only on the page but through my brain too. This was 276 pages and I read this in approximately 5 hours and 27 minutes. Not my proudest moment, but also my proudest moment because I did those 5 hours and 27 minutes in the space of one day. Maybe I finished 10 minutes before midnight, but that's not what we're going to focus on. So The Wedding Witch by Erin Sterling is about a witch named Bowen Penhallow. He hires Tamsin Bly, I believe is how you pronounce her name, to acquire things for him due to an experiment that went wrong when he was younger that he is now trying to solve. When I say experiment, I mean a magical experiment. Throughout the course of this book, Bowen and Tamsin end up having to work together, so kind of a bit of a forced proximity in a sense. They end up having to work together to acquire, solve and fix a bunch of problems, and in doing so, now it's called The Wedding Witch because the solving, fixing and acquiring and the forced proximity happen at a wedding. I'm not going to spoil this for you. If you have read The X-Hex and The Kiss Curse and you haven't read this yet, I'm not sure if telling you more of this will give it away other things that happen because I have not read The X-Hex. Oh my goodness, The X-Hex and The Kiss Curse, but they have definitely been put on my TBR since reading this. This is absolutely a 3.75, maybe even a 4 like I said. The story itself, despite the fact that this is potentially the 3rd book in the Graves Glen series, you can read it as a standalone and that's what I did. And even reading it as a standalone, although I could tell that there was definitely some context to a few things that I was missing, it did not take away from the story at all, which was really nice because I bought this from The Works. We love The Works. And I didn't even think that it was one in a series. It doesn't allude to being one in a series, so I just picked it up thinking that looks great, it's a small book, that looks fun, which I'm sure most people have done. I don't know, maybe I'm uneducated because I have had The X-Hex and The Kiss Curse on my radar for a very long time, I've just never picked them up. But I'm so glad that I did this challenge because I showed myself that I am capable of reading more than I have been at the moment in a certain amount of time. After reading this in a day, I have read significantly more of the Atlas Complex due to the fact that I've realised that I was not utilising my time properly, and that was really nice because Atlas Complex is such a big book. Well, it is for me anyway. Don't come for me. Anyway, I read The Wedding Witch by Erin Sterling in one day. I'll probably do it again because it was so much fun, obviously a different book. But thank you so much guys for tuning in, watching, subscribing, liking, commenting, you name it. I really appreciate you guys that come every week to watch my videos. I would just like to say we have made it to like 360 something subscribers and I'm absolutely blown away. So thank you so much. I would like to do one of these again, a read a book in a day. So please, down in the comments, leave your recommendations, realistic recommendations I might add, for my next read a book in a day and I will get to it as soon as I can. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Give us a like, subscribe, comment down below literally anything and a recommendation, and I shall see you next Wednesday for another video. We're doing a reading a whole book